All right, it's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. It's finally here. It's Masters Week. It's November, and the next major after, also the Masters. So this week we're hopefully having Beatin the Bookie on to go over betting picks for the Masters this week. But he is currently in a weird situation with a hurricane, so we're not really sure yet. But we'll go over that, and we'll also finish it off with some birdies and bogeys. So let's get into it. Little thing about the Houston Open this weekend before we get into Augusta. So Carlos Ortiz won this weekend, and that morning I put a live bet on him, 20 to win $30.
Nice. What made you do that?
I saw him at the top of the leaderboard with I threw 12 holes, and I was like, he seems like he's got it.
You weren't even watching.
20 to win 30.
No, I wasn't. No. Great ball striking all week, though. I watched the last 6 holes of the tournament, and he they were talking about how well he was ball striking all weekend, and he just needed to get the putter going. He had the most insane shot on 16, I believe, par 5, from 230. He had a 6-iron to 5 feet, and then missed the eagle putt. He lipped out, but then he birdied, which ended up being it.
Carlos Ortiz is always one of those guys that I want to pick every week.
He's a ball
striker. He just kind of sticks out. I don't know why. Never end up picking him, or when I do pick him, he does okay, but he doesn't win. And of course,
he was somebody who I knew everything about. I knew all his stats, everything, kind of early last season, but I never knew what he looked like. I always imagined him to be a short, chubby guy, but he's tall and maybe that's just Big Papi's chubby, but.
David Ortiz, Carlos Ortiz.
Well,
pretty generic
name. I kind of think because he's from Mexico, so I kind of guess the whole Abraham answer kind of short, kind of a shorter guy, but he's not.
No, I knew what he looked like. I don't know. Probably because I do all the graphics and stuff. I'm sure he had a first round leader at some point this year, so that's where I know what he looked like. I think his wife actually liked our Instagram post of him winning.
Really?
I saw the last name Ortiz, and I was like, "Oh, wait, what?" And then I clicked on the profile, and it happened to be his wife. So.
Yeah, and also one of his sponsors commented on our post. That was so weird. Yeah, and then so some guys that are notable that are in good form from the Houston Open going into this week. DJ, Matsuyama, and Koepka were all at the top of the leaderboard. DJ, I think, and Matsuyama were second and third, and Koepka was somewhere in the top 10. He finished at 8 under, I think.
Koepka had a 5 under, front 9 or something like that.
Yeah, so that's.
I think it was Sunday, maybe.
That's encouraging for Koepka.
Mm-hmm.
That's encouraging
Going
for
to the
Koepka.
Masters, yeah. It's the classic Koepka move. Peak at the right time. Peak at the Masters. Peak at the majors. I mean,
we'll if he's healthy, there's no reason he won't win.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
Another guy who at the beginning of the week when I was just looking at the leaderboard in the first 9 holes of the tournament being played, Spieth was at the top, and I was like, oh, is he peaking at the right time?
Yeah.
And then just whatever, he got cut.
I was looking at the statistics for one day this week. It might have been Friday, where if you just go hole by hole with all the shot tracers on the PGA Tour app, and he was not even close to the fairway on half of the holes. There was one hole where he hit a shot tracer and it was out of the picture. It shows the little over the top view of the hole on the PGA Tour app. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. The little 3D thing. The shot tracer on the tee shot was all the way out, off the grid, off the map, not even close to anything. And then you see the second one just come in from nowhere, and you're wow, he really missed the fairway that far, and it still just doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, Pat said, I was someone said oh, Spieth is in the lead, and I looked at him oh, he's in the lead, and an hour and a half later I'm oh, he's tied for 50th.
Yeah, he's 3 over.
Yeah.
Whoops.
What just happened? And I saw he went bogey, double, birdie, double.
The course wasn't playing that easy.
No, not at all.
No, it wasn't, which was kind of like refreshing. Like I think Koepka, like I saw when he shot 500 in the front nine one day. Said that was low. That was the low round of the week. It was 500, and like someone
ended up being seven under for Matsuyama on Sunday.
On Sunday after his round, he was being interviewed, and Koepka was saying like that how much he like loved like how this week was set up. It wasn't one of those tournaments where 25 under, 30 under was going to win it.
Right.
So, which is good for him. Like you got grinded out kind of guy. Like
exactly.
Everyone's worried about the conditions and grinding it out, and he's doing his own thing. He does not hearing the noise or anything like that at all. So, yeah.
I mean, solid week for Carlos Ortiz though. I mean, like he just played solid all week. I mean, that's all you can.
And he drained that birdie putt to end it.
True.
Yeah, that's always the best way to win.
With DJ and Matsuyama like breathing down his neck, and you have.
Well, all he had to do was and all he had to do was two putt there, but
still
canned it. So that's his first PGA Tour win, so that was pretty cool. Also in front of fans, which is kind of underrated.
Yeah. True.
I was watching it, I was like, oh wow, like there's a lot of people watching this last hole.
Oh, they're back.
It honestly, I didn't really change it that much for me even. Like I feel like
the experience on TV.
Like watching the highlights, I didn't realize it at all.
I mean, obviously, like for non-majors, the experience on TV is like not that different. But like when you get into a major, like this week at Augusta is gonna be so weird, like with no one around.
Yeah, it really will.
If there were fans, oh my god.
Well, there better be fans.
There better be fans in April. I'll be so disappointed again.
Do you think you'll be able to go in April if there's fans?
If there are fans in April, I think I'll be able to go. I think I will. But I have no idea. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a vaccine by then, but probably not. But maybe.
I mean, news came out like this morning about a vaccine. So.
I saw that. that.
Oh, also, a week after the election. That's not like suspicious at all.
I was gonna say slight update since the podcast happened. Last new president. Don't need to really go into it, but just a slight update if you didn't know already.
Yeah, we're here to inform you.
President-elect Joe Biden. Breaking news 1 week after. Anyway,
heard here first.
Let's move into some Masters talk. I feel like that's what the people came for this week. Some brief things. Sergio and Joaquin Niemann are out. I saw Sergio tested positive. Niemann is just still out with COVID, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, Niemann and like Garcia are like kind of close. Like, I wonder if they got COVID like from each other. Like, if Sergio got it from Niemann.
Are they close?
They are, because they're both like Spanish-speaking like people, and like he always comments on all his like posts.
I didn't realize Daniel Berger and like Hovland are not playing this week though.
Yeah.
Wait, Hovland's not playing?
Hovland and Daniel Berger are both not playing.
They didn't qualify, right?
I guess not.
I think we talked about this earlier on with Daniel Berger, who didn't qualify.
I didn't realize that. Like I just assumed like Daniel Berger would be playing because he he won, and then after the restart, I guess it makes sense.
That was after the restart. The Masters was supposed to be so much longer ago, so like the field was locked in from however like a while ago. So I mean, it sucks. You have two of the better players in the world not allowed to play. Whatever.
That completely slipped my mind that the field was set from whatever day. Like
honestly, I did.
I was playing in it.
Yeah, think about the field was set. Like I didn't think about that at all because I assumed like, oh, Daniel Berger played sick and Hovland played well, like all summer.
My roommate's favorite player is Hovland, so I feel like when I tell him that in like an hour, he's going to be quite upset.
No, just wait until Thursday morning. He's going to look for Hovland scores. Like, why can't I find Hovland? He's
see what happens. I mean. COVID, like if a couple more people get it, like I'm sure Hovland and Berger like,
are there alternates
somewhere on that list
it probably could be alternates.
So
you never know if there's like an amateur alternate though, or like whatever it is.
Because you see that Niemann and Sergio both have like those positive tests, whatever. I'm sure they're not going to be the last two. There's going to be someone else between now and Thursday.
I'll say I bet one more person tests positive.
I'm sure. I bet you it's going to be somebody that we pick on this podcast. This happens every week. We pick somebody, they test positive, and then like the podcast comes out on Wednesday. We did it on Monday. Like, whoops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So pictures came out like this morning, kind of. They were circulating throughout the day. Augusta in the fall. We've all been waiting for it. It didn't disappoint.
Gorgeous.
Not at all.
Gorgeous.
You kind of replace like the flowers and stuff with just like
with fall foliage.
Foliage.
Yeah, the foliage.
It's amazing.
Fall, yeah.
It's
so here's
so
the thing.
Nice.
Here's the one thing that sucks about fall golf for amateur golfers. This weekend, like, I can't find a ball because there's leaves everywhere.
Leaves. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah. Go ahead.
At the Masters, they get those leaves. If there's a singular leaf anywhere, like somebody's getting fired.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, they're picking.
There's probably somebody there like catching them before they hit the ground like the next like 3 days.
I'm surprised they couldn't volunteer to be like a leaf cleaner like on the course like this week.
Yeah, they get all the positives of fall golf. And none of the negatives. Maybe some weather, but I feel like what's the?
I feel like the weather's been pretty
rain
nice.
Thursday and Friday. That's supposed to be. That's all I saw.
Ooh, I feel like that's on point though with like some cloudy Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, and then beautiful weekend.
Trev, what's the weather like in South Carolina? You're a little bit closer.
That's what my friend said today. Is it's supposed to be like sunny. Like it was nice today. It was like 80 degrees yesterday and today. And then it's supposed to be like rainy tomorrow all through the rest of the week. So
it hit a nice 75 degrees today in Boston.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty nice.
I'm looking at the weather. Thursday, 80% thunderstorms. Friday, 50% rain. Saturday, 40% rain. Sunday, 60% rain.
Dude, we might have a Masters Monday.
It's supposed to be warm the whole weekend, though. 79, 79, 72, 75.
Thunderstorms?
It's still a week away. A lot could change. I think from what I saw last week, I heard it was, or I saw yesterday, I heard it was supposed to be nice on Saturday and Sunday after rain on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, 40% not really.
Could you imagine a Masters Monday, though?
I don't want
like delayed a day and like you have a Monday.
Yeah, but I'm doing things on Monday.
I guess, but.
Yeah, people
we could do a live podcast during the Masters.
Oh gosh, could. Yeah, another thing though, I feel like because Tiger didn't play this week, but he played, I guess, two weeks ago. What do we think about Tiger? Because I feel like the Masters is a place where you kind of take current form to a certain extent and throw it out the window to a certain extent, because there's guys who just like. That's their course, like
right.
That's course they just perform at. That's literally exactly how I base my like picks, like DFS picks. Like I throw most of the stats out the window, and it's basically on like maybe current form, and then like Fred Couples doesn't play he plays Champions Tour all year, and then he comes in and plays the Masters, and he makes a cut every year.
I made two DraftKings lineups. And Fred Couples was in one of them, so that I could just stack my lineup.
Yeah,
there's some low value guys.
Probably.
Yeah, there is.
There's guys who've been playing like pretty well like recently who are like very low down there. But
another one.
Back to Tiger talk. I don't know if this is it. I feel like we said this last year, but he just has not looked that good this year.
He hasn't.
Is he gonna put together 4 solid rounds of golf? I don't know. Like, is he healthy enough for that? I don't know.
Same thing. Him and Phil.
Phil's long gone.
Phil's much less likely. But
Tiger, I wouldn't even say that he's much less likely. Less likely for sure, but he's not.
He's less likely, but you're right.
But the thing about Tiger,
like you said, it's like they know the course better. Like those two know the course better than anyone here.
The thing about Tiger, like as opposed to Phil, like he could get hot off the putter, and like if you get hot off the putter at Augusta, all of a sudden like you get a couple birdies because you make a couple on putts, and then you're right in it. So
and if anyone's gonna get hot, it's gonna be Tiger.
Exactly. So that's the only thing that I would like. That's why I would keep him in. Now,
this
year is interesting because we're like, is Bryson gonna break the course? Like, is that gonna happen this year? We have no clue how that's gonna work. So,
well, I was gonna say it's interesting because nobody's played in the fall yet. So is that gonna change things? So is that gonna be? I don't think it'll be much. I don't think it'll be a huge difference. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be firmer or softer.
It hasn't been that cold there. I don't probably.
In the rain's gonna soften up a ton. No matter what their system is drain wise, it's going to soften up a ton. But I don't know. I feel like it'll be like a regular, like a normal Masters. I feel like people like you're going to see like the names we always like. I feel like a Bubba is going to like play well, like no matter how he's been playing. Yeah. And like we'll see. I'm just looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's fine. Like it didn't really dawn on me. It was like next week until like Sunday, and I saw videos and like the Masters.
I mean, whatever. It's because we've had all these like random events with like weird fields for the last like couple weeks. We haven't really had a field the last couple weeks that's had like everybody in it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's. I mean, we don't even have everybody in it this week, but I mean, we finally
ready.
have one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finally ready to sit down in front of my TV or computer, for whatever it is, for 4 straight days and just watch nonstop.
I mean, you saw Instagram today. We have Kevin Kisner driving down Magnolia Lane. That was pretty electric. Yeah, awesome. Phil Mickelson driving down Magnolia Lane, like talking on his Instagram.
Do you see JT posting in his caddy's song?
Yeah.
What was it?
His caddy has like the deepest southern like country like singing voice. Like he's a really good voice. But just imagine like a deep country singing voice. And he was just singing about Augusta, like making jokes about like Max Homa and like yeah. And
is Homa playing?
Homa's playing. He was in the field.
That's right. I saw his tweet yesterday actually, or just today. Maybe it was like getting ready for a practice round at Augusta, or like first one ever, something like that.
He didn't get to play in the Masters in April because he was in such good form.
Yeah, he just won.
He's starting to bounce back a little bit. Like he's finding something. At least he's not getting cut in every event.
I would love to see him do well too.
That'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I mean, I feel like first Masters is definitely like a kind of a starstruck experience the whole time, so you never know how well you're gonna do. It can go either way though. I guess Victor Hovland's first Masters, he was low am. So
I mean, but you have different expectations when you're an am as like opposed to a pro.
Yes, very true. Very true. But I feel like the biggest storyline over Tiger is Bryson. And
I agree.
I'm starting. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm excited. I really hope he just breaks the course because I think it would be like very fun to watch. But I'm starting to like in my head is twisting it so it's like, no, this is just going to be overhyped, and he's just going to play like okay.
Like he normally does.
I just from like it's. I can see why I say it's overhyped, but like the fact like those tweets that were said last week about him like 9-iron on 15 and
but at this
like
point
11,
it's like impossible
like,
for him
the hill on 9. Like
it's impossible for him to live up to the expectations because now I feel like the average fan probably thinks he's just gonna like drive the green on a par 5.
No,
but you know what I'm saying.
True, but I still think even if he doesn't win, I think he's gonna do like I think he'll still be like top 10 or do really really well. I just don't.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways to victory at Augusta, I feel like. I mean, obviously there's the long hitters that have won in the past and have done well by hitting it long because of the fairways and stuff like that. But then there's the finesse players. If you have good approach game and good putting, you pair those two together, those are the guys who also win. So
you can that's what like everyone knows about Augusta. You can do it. You can play your game and like anyone can win. Like Zach Johnson and Jordan Spieth have won, but there's also Koepka's competed and Rory's almost won. Like Bryson could break the course. Like you can do anything you want.
That's the beauty of the Masters. I feel like
it is. It's so awesome. Cannot wait.
Whichever, I think it's still more of a second shot course rather than the first shot because of the wide fairways. Most people are going to be hitting fairways.
It is.
I mean, if Bryson's closer on his second shot, maybe he has an advantage. But
yeah,
I mean,
I
feel like he doesn't have as much of an advantage to somebody who's a very good iron player. I mean, obviously, if you have a wedge into the green, you're always going to have an advantage. But if somebody's a really good iron player, they could get it just as close as Bryson does in the same amount of shots.
True.
I think what you might see is just Bryson, just like he'll be in contention, and it'll really just be up to his wedge game and his putting. Because people forget, like Bryson. I mean, I think Spieth said this on an interview the other. I feel like I see a ton of Spieth quotes about Bryson for some reason. Maybe they just keep clipping.
I mean, everybody's quotes are about Bryson.
I think they're just clipping the same interview like over and over again on golf.com. But he said he putts the living hell out of the ball. He's like he's only really just a big bomber. He's an insane putter.
I saw a picture of him today. Like it was like on Instagram, I think, and it was his like he looks even like bigger than I remember him being.
There was a picture of him carrying the bags of practice balls, and you're like, wow, Bryson looks huge.
Like I thought it was like huge last year, but like I don't know if it was the angle or something like that. But he looked like I don't even know. He looked just like even huger. I mean,
this is not really that related, but there was another picture of I think it was Spieth, Ricky, and Jordan and Gary Woodland taking a picture like on the bridge, and Gary Woodland was like a step down on the bridge, so he looked tiny. And obviously Ricky's like 5'9", and he looked tiny. And then you're like, what's going on here? Like Gary Woodland's like 6'2". Like why does he look so small? Too. And I was like, oh, he's like a step down on the bridge and like behind them. Like that's why he looks like he's like 5'4". Like,
yeah.
Also, I don't know if you saw Tiger's outfit today. Not pointing.
Yeah,
obviously
it was like mint
green. The blue and the blue pants, blue hat, and the green looked like with the it was like a backdrop of like one of the holes or something like that. It looked so nice. It looked so clean.
Nike just dropped that today. That shirt that he looks.
Amazing that they're dropping a shirt that he's not even wearing in like the actual in a practice round he wore it.
Mm-hmm. By the way, what are your thoughts on these new Nike golf shoes that they came out with, where they have like a flap over the
Let me look at them.
The laces. Have you seen these?
I haven't seen them.
Do they like? I haven't seen them, but like, do you? Everybody played soccer at one point, right? Like when we were like really young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember those flaps on the soccer cleats like when we were like 7? Is that what it looks like?
That's exactly what they look.
Okay, that's ugly.
It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I did see Shane Bacon said he liked it, and I was just like, okay, maybe because he has them, and maybe I trust his opinion, but they can't look good with like shorts.
Nike send us a pair.
If they didn't have that, they'd look clean.
We'll review them.
If they didn't have the flap, they would look sick. But also, again, if you're Nike, that doesn't really distinguish them that much. So I guess they're really just trying to go for shock factor there.
Like that's kind of like I don't know how flap looks a little like heavier than I was originally. I originally thought like if you're playing like it's gonna flap in the wind and like it's gonna like come up like in the wind or whatever. It's gonna be annoying, but they should have it so like you can like kind of like if they had a flap like kind of like tie it down or like pin it down somehow like if they had that, but I don't know. That's not. I don't like it that much at all.
They're literally like the like 6-year-old soccer cleats, but
they are. But golf.
Yeah. So let's move in before we go to more Masters talk, of course, with betting and just the course preview. Let's go into the Monday hypothetical. G came out with it today, so I'll let him introduce it.
I think Trev actually.
Or I guess maybe Trevor did.
I would just introduce it. Like, what's your favorite Masters moment? I was like looking for a Masters related Monday hypothetical. I feel like this one's gonna clean sweep just like based on how old we are and like what we've seen.
I'll let you guys go first because I feel like mine's gonna sort of dispute yours a little bit.
I feel like you. The obvious answer is the 2019 Tiger one.
Besides Tiger,
that just
we know for us that's like by far my favorite moment, like golf moment, like ever, like watching that happen. I might go with Sergio winning, just because everyone waited so long for that to happen, and the reaction was like, perfect. Like it was just going crazy, and I'm not the biggest Sergio fan, but I was cheering from that whole time. He went to the playoff with Rose, and that was a really awesome moment.
Even Bubba Watson winning his first.
Bubba Watson, yeah,
that was a cool one.
Someone said when he did that banana hook. I wasn't even into that in golf at the time, but I was watching that.
That was one of the first Masters I ever watched. Probably was that banana hook.
What was that? What year was that?
2012.
Yeah,
that was the year Louis Oosthuizen had an albatross too.
Right.
But the other one I was gonna say was Jordan Spieth heading in the water on 12.
Here's mine. I don't know. Yeah. I think it might have been. I don't know what hole it was actually, but my favorite moment is not Tiger Woods winning the Masters. Obviously, that's the end moment, which was awesome. Francesco Molinari putting it in the water on that hole.
In 12.
Wow. That's realizing, Tiger's actually gonna probably come away with this.
That's when we knew, like when we were on 12 in the water. That's when we knew we're watching. We're like, this could actually happen. Like that was the point.
Because Molinari up to that point was playing lights out.
Yeah, and then he hit in the water and 50, hit the tree on 15 and hit in the water again. Yeah. Like that was an awesome moment.
Some of our older listeners will probably say like 1986 Jack Nicklaus, the yes sir putt.
My dad will always say Tiger that chip in.
that's
one. Always.
I feel like in my like marketing classes and stuff like that, they always say that was the single best like moment for Nike because the ball stopped
in your life, yeah.
No, for Nike, because the ball stopped right on the edge of the cup with the Nike logo showing on the ball and then drops. It's like that. They can use that.
Yeah, like
they can show that for
the Vern Lundquist call
for the rest of their life. Well, yeah, exactly. and then they don't make golf balls anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean
the
Mojos.
Awful.
The Mojos. The reason I said the Jordan Spieth was because when I was on a college visit. It was 2016. I was on a college visit. I think it was at Michigan State or something like that. And I was like going down to like Indiana the next day. And my dad and I were in a hotel room. It's like a rainy day, like really dark outside. We're watching the tournament. And like we're like, Spieth's gonna win. And then Spieth hits in the water twice, and like I like jolted up. I'm like this is a tournament now. And he lost. I was so bad. I felt so bad for him, but it was like I was literally falling asleep before that happened, and then. Oh,
was that the year Danny Willett? That was the year Danny.
Yeah, that was so annoying that Danny Willett won.
Do you remember what happened that day?
What happened that day?
Our high school baseball team lost 24-2.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I just remember coming home on the bus and seeing Spieth just fall apart, and also
24-2
loss.
Yeah. Not a good.
At least he got safety.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move into the course preview. I'll let Jeek go ahead with that.
Yeah, course preview. So everybody knows Masters, Augusta National. Let's start off the field. There's a 93 player field, I believe, unless like COVID has made it a little bit different. I think there's 6 amateurs playing in this year, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's the best players in the world, obviously, but like we said earlier, it's from when the Masters was supposed to be. So like if you qualify for the Masters back when it was supposed to be, that field has been locked ever since then. So that's why you don't see like Daniel Berger in the field this week, which sucks. As we mentioned earlier, Sergio Garcia, Joaquin Niemann, they're out because of COVID. I'm sure there's gonna be a couple more over the next couple days. And usually the Masters, a little bit different this year. Usually the Masters doesn't cut anyone within 10 strokes of the lead. This year they're just taking the top 50 in ties. So throw that out. 10 strokes of the lead, that's not a thing anymore. And now getting into the course, Augusta National, par 72, 74, 75. Wider fairways, as I mentioned before. So longer hitters could have an advantage, but not always. There's a couple ways to win at Augusta. Like I said earlier, you could have good approach play and good putting. Augusta always has some of the toughest greens on tour, a lot of greens of multiple tiers and stuff like that. So putting's definitely very important this week. So that's why I'm putting it first on the key stats. Strokes gain putting, I think that's the most important, followed by strokes gain approach. I threw driving distance in there, but I mean, everybody knows who has the driving distance, the Brysons. So I don't think it's as important. And strokes gain tee to green, I feel like that's just tells you who the best golfer is, who does everything all around. So I threw it in there. And then obviously previous winners, everybody pretty much knows. Tiger Woods won the last one. Patrick Reed the year before that. Sergio's not playing. Danny Willett, Jordan Spieth, and Bubba has 2, 2014, 2012. Adam Scott, 2013. I feel like
that's all down the list.
Yeah.
So,
so
Charles Schwartzel is the most random person to ever.
He is.
Danny Willett was kind of random.
Oh, that's
too.
Danny Willett like literally dropped off a cliff after.
Yeah, like what has Danny Willett done since then?
No,
that's very true. That's very true.
But yeah, so that kind of gets you through the preview. Everybody knows Augusta.
Yeah. All right, so after a little bit of a delay, we got BeatinTheBookie back on the podcast for Masters Week, another major. I know you guys always love having him on and listening to him on here. Welcome to the show again.
Thanks. I'm glad to be back. You know, it's been a little while since we had a since we had a major. Augusta's finally here. It's going to be a little weird watching in November. Actually, it's different for me to have like a golf major during football season. It's really strange, to be honest, because I got so much to do in football season, and then the Masters is like a whole football week combined in itself. So Just looking forward to it, and I guess we'll see what it brings us.
Right, and you mentioned obviously just right off the bat there, it's the Masters in November. Do you think the course will be playing any differently than it usually is in April?
I think the only difference is maybe the ball won't fly as far because of the colder weather, but the lows, the lows for the week are supposed to be in like the 60s, so I don't see the temperature playing much of a factor, but it's supposed to rain on like Thursday, maybe some winds, but I'm pretty sure like it usually rains for like a couple rounds at the Masters anyways, or at least it has like the past few years. So I don't really, these guys are so good these days that I don't really think it matters when they play, especially when they've been playing the hardest courses, for like the U.S. Open, PGA Championship already. I think they're well suited to play at this time, and I think the Masters knows what it takes to get ratings and stuff. They want an exciting tournament. They don't want the winner out there shooting one over, even par. So, I think the Masters, they're ready to put on an exciting tournament. I was just reading today that they've been talking to the players like after all their practice rounds, saying what they thought of the course, if they should make any changes and stuff like that. So, I'm just looking like I'm thinking that they're looking for an exciting weekend, especially after this delay. They want to crush it. They know they're going up head to head with football and stuff. So I think they want to put on something that's exciting for the fans to watch.
Yeah, that'll definitely be interesting to see like what the ratings are like for college football on Saturday and NFL on Sunday versus the Masters. I know last year they had it early.
Yeah, they got a little help with the cancellation of the Alabama LSU game. So
right, I forgot about that. Right. So off the bat, so what players let's actually start with something else. We've been talking a lot about the players we like this week. We've been talking like a lot of the guys that play well at Augusta a lot. Who do you think of the big names is not going to do as well, and maybe you might fade this week?
Well, last time I came on here, I said Dustin Johnson. I said Bryson De Chambeau was a fade at the U.S. Open, or was it the PGA or U.S. Open?
Yeah, the U.S. Open.
And he just destroyed, the field on the last day. So I felt kind of dumb there actually. But playing bad this weekend, I would say like Rory. I just watched his press conference and he didn't really sound like so motivated. He was talking more about the baby and stuff, the new baby, and about being a dad and stuff. So I think maybe like the desire is not there for him this weekend, even though he's never won like a Masters. Phil Mickelson sounded more positive for Rory than Rory did. So I would just probably fade Rory. He hasn't been playing that well since the coronavirus break. So I would probably just say Rory there. I know one person that I liked, one bet for a player to do bad that I was looking at earlier, and I spoke with one of my friends, one of my clients. His brother plays on the PGA Tour, and he's also playing in the Masters this weekend. I told him that our favorite fade this weekend is Jazz to miss the cut at -160. That's like free money. The guy should not be playing in the Masters.
That's right. With the field locked, but when it was supposed to be played, the field got locked. So there's a lot of players that like aren't actually playing this week. Like Daniel Berger is one of the guys that we mentioned that like should definitely be in the field this week, but isn't. And like you're right, guys who are in the field like might have not been playing well recently, but they happen to make the field because they played well a while back.
Yeah.
So.
It's crazy that Daniel Berger is like not playing. It's like
and Hovland too. They're both not playing.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like the biggest talk of the week. Obviously, there's been talk about what irons and what clubs he's had into every green. He makes it look like a pitch and putt. What do you think of Bryson De Chambeau this week?
I actually was just talking about Bryson to my friend whose brother plays on tour. He told me that I should bet Bryson to make an eagle at where is this? At like -200, I think. He said it was like free money.
That's it? So for the whole tournament? That's it?
Yeah, and he said that he hit an 8-iron into 2 yesterday and hit a 3-wood over the 3 green. So
Oh my god!
I also saw
over the 3 green.
He went 3-wood 7-iron into a par 5 as well, I think.
Yeah. So he told me also a good bet that he liked was Bryson to birdie all par 5s in round 1 plus 600.
That's some value.
And he hates.
They're playing his par 4s to him probably.
And this guy, he hates Bryson, so if he is saying to bet that, it's probably a pretty good bet. But I'm not gonna doubt like Bryson De Chambeau again. So I mean, what he did at the U.S. Open, what was it, the PGA Championship or the U.S. Open? I always get confused.
The U.S. Open.
Yeah, the U.S. Open. What he did there, that was like a course that like didn't play well for him at all, and he still managed to win. He kept his temper in check, stuff like that. So I mean, I could see Bryson, doing really well. They don't want him to own the course and stuff, but I think some courses like they just can't stop him these days. I mean, his drive is just like ridiculous. And he looks like he gained like 20 pounds since his last tournament. The picture I saw of him today.
We were talking about that the other day. Like the fact that there's a picture of him carrying like range balls, I think, like in his hands.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the picture.
He looked huge. It was.
He looked double the size of Tiger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, speaking of like what kind of play styles like fit courses, obviously that doesn't always work. But I mean, what kind of play style do you think fits at Augusta? I mean, I've heard. Like Augusta's good for long hitters, but it's also good for players who have really good approach games. So I mean, what kind of play style do you think you'd lean towards this week?
A guy that I like a lot this weekend. I mean, he's obvious. I mean, everybody likes him, but Jon Rahm. He's been playing well. This course I think really suits him. I think he really wants to get that green jacket. And the last 2 days he has a hole-in-one each day. Hole-in-one today, hole-in-one yesterday in the practice round.
The hole-in-one that I saw
skipping across the water.
Today, yeah, that was the craziest hole-in-one
awesome.
I think I've ever seen. Like, might have been one of the best golf shots we've ever seen. So, that was nasty.
And Koepka's playing better. He seems like a little healthier now since he took that little break. And he's a gamer. Just getting second place last year, I think he really wants to, win it. And DJ, I've heard that DJ really hasn't been feeling that great. But my friend that, I have a friend that works with DJ, and he told me that he wasn't feeling great last weekend and that he didn't really know if he was going to play in the tournament actually. Like he wanted to withdraw kind of on like Wednesday night. He ended up, doing very well. So
yeah,
I don't really know how much I can trust that anymore. So like DJ, I think he could do well. But I'm just going to lay off of that because I just don't know how he's feeling like physically. So I like DeChambeau, Rahm, Koepka. I hate Tyrrell Hatton because, the guy screws me one way or the other if I bet him.
Right.
Yep.
Also, I think Patrick Reed could play well this weekend. One of the guys who I always like at the Masters is Jordan Spieth, but I'm just done with that. I'm not like drinking that Kool-Aid at all anymore.
Fair enough.
I mean, the guy is like, I think after like 8-9 holes last weekend, round 1, he's like tied for first round leader, and then he like triple bogeys 2 of the last 3 holes. Like, just the wheels are totally off. And today I saw him hit, skipping it across the water with Gary Woodland, and he's getting really good at that shot because he's been in the water so much lately. But that's just a guy who's Kool-Aid I'm not drinking for this weekend. And at Tiger, it would be nice to see Tiger win, but I don't know. This is like if Tiger's going to play well this year, this is the course to do it at. He's fully rested, stuff like that. So, I think the winner is going to be like, DeChambeau, Rahm, Koepka, or Tiger. I don't really see, or Patrick Reed. Those 5 guys. Morikawa, he's got good odds for this weekend, but I don't really trust him lately. I feel like he kind of hit that rookie wall, maybe that second-year wall.
Yeah, right.
But besides, those guys, I don't really see anybody else like that is going to play as consistent enough to win this tournament.
Do you think the layoff for Tiger is going to affect him a lot? Like he hasn't played since
I don't think
versus Ozil, I guess, but yeah.
No, he's played so much golf the last 20 years. I mean, I don't really think. I think if anything, it could help him.
Right.
I think he had like a pretty good layoff like last year going into the Masters. He wanted to get prepared like for the Masters and stuff last year too. Yeah. So I don't think a guy like that. I don't think that the layoff is going to hurt him. Whatsoever.
So you mentioned consistency, and I feel like at least consistency in majors and big field tournaments. Xander Schofley has been a guy that's been in pretty much all of them. Do you like him this week as well, or?
Everybody talks, every single major that comes up, all I hear is these people talking about, Xander Schofley, he's got a top 10 at like so and so straight majors. Well, when is the guy going to win? I mean, he's had the lead at so many events that he's choked the last day. It's like hard for me to back a guy like that. He can't close,
That's fair enough.
And I did the inside the ropes things with Xander, like in Bahamas at the Hero World Challenge 2 years ago. The nicest guy in the world, his caddy Austin, the nicest guy in the world. But it seems like just like when he gets those leads, he just can't hang on. So I think it was the the CJ Cup where he was, leading by like 3 strokes heading into the final round, and he
choked away to Cantley. Yeah. Or was it Cantley or was that
wasn't like Henley, I think, or
might have been, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he just can't close, so I can't. It's hard to like back a guy like that. I mean, maybe to get top 10.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But like a top 10 bet might be a good one for him.
If it's Brooks Koepka versus Xander Schofley, like headed into the final stretch, the final 9 holes, and they're tied for the lead, I'm gonna back Koepka like 100 times out of 100 there because he knows what it takes to win. And Schofley, he doesn't. So
hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, maybe he'll break through, but he just hasn't done it yet.
So I remember specifically at the PGA, you gave us some matchup like best bets as we call them. That I think you gave us 2 and they both won by a good margin. Are there any matchups you're looking at this week? Just overall tournament matchups that you really like?
Yeah, one tournament matchup that I really like is De Chambeau minus 134 over McIlroy. I just don't think that Rory is like playing near his top right now, and I think De Chambeau is like playing so good, and on top of it, De Chambeau like he just wants to piss people off and win. He knows like people don't like him, and I think that really drives him to like perform well. He knows that people say, oh well, like, the Masters isn't going to let this long drive guy beat them and stuff. They're going to adjust the course and stuff. So I think he's out to prove that he can beat them. So I like that matchup. I also like what's crazy here is every site has like different matchups for golf. So
correct, yeah.
But the DeChambeau versus McIlroy matchup, like every site will have that.
Right.
I feel like they're usually out to get you on the matchups. I'm actually surprised that's the matchup. Like I feel like it would be more of like a Bryson versus DJ would make like more sense as a bookmaker. But
they'll have that matchup too.
Yeah,
like, they
obviously.
For the top players, they'll have like a bunch of them. Another matchup that I like is Tiger minus 155 over Phil. I think Tiger can like put together 4 rounds, whereas like Phil might like put together 1 good round, but then he's gonna like just shoot 8 over 1 round, and then he'll just stop caring. He'll put his sunglasses on, and he'll just like he'll just start having fun,
Yeah.
I was actually just watching Phil. He said he wanted fans to be there this weekend because they like they walk all over the rough sometimes, and it makes the rough not as high as usual, and they won't be able to have that this weekend. So I like Tiger over Phil right there. I think the minus 155 is like a pretty good price because Phil seems like he's just having more fun winning senior events right now. He just doesn't have the stamina that he had, a few years ago. So that's another matchup that I like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like Patrick Reed over Tyrrell Hatton, but again, every time I bet against Tyrrell Hatton, he beats me, and every time I bet on him, he loses. So I'm just gonna stay away from that one.
It seems like a similar like player type matchup. It seems like a very like 50-50, but I could definitely see Patrick Reed, I feel like, being the favorite in that one.
There's another one that I like, Brooks Koepka minus 25 over Bubba Watson. Bubba's been playing like pretty solid lately, but again, just the ceiling for Brooks is so much higher than Bubba.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
And I think like Brooks is like really thirsty for that like green jacket. I feel like I'm on him like every single major, but I mean the guy's a gamer. He shows up for every major. And he wants to beat that's the guy who wants to beat Bryson,
Right.
Right.
So I'd love for like the final day to be him versus Bryson, like just the final tee time, because I was watching like his he had took like a bunch of Instagram questions like through his fiance like last week. Everybody, they asked him at the end, why didn't anybody ask Bryson questions? He said, oh, they did, but I just didn't. I didn't feel like getting in trouble and answering any of them,
Yeah, that would be a really entertaining Sunday to watch them go down the stretch.
Yeah, just total mind games,
Especially with him playing well last week, it definitely gives us a little more confidence in him going into the major. So.
Yeah, I mean he could get last place at every tournament, and I would bet him at the major because he just shows up for majors,
Right.
So.
And you also, we say this all the time. You're the king of the first round leader. Who's your guy this week for the first round?
All right, so first round leaders. Let me find the matchups. I mean, not the matchups, but the odds. I stopped betting. Like, usually I would take longer shots to be first round major, and I would like never bet De Chambeau because his odds were like always like plus 14, plus 1500. But De Chambeau has been first round leader so many times this year, where I usually just auto play De Chambeau now. He's plus 1400. Koepka also, he's one first round leader for me. I think it was like the St. Jude or the FedEx or one of those at like 30-1. Matsuyama always I like it first round leader. He's plus 3300.
Webb Simpson.
Yeah, Webb Simpson. Yeah, Matsuyama. I mean, he's shot so many open around 64s, 63s. I always like him. Webb Simpson, he hasn't been playing as good of golf coming into here, but he's plus 3,300. There's just so many guys now that can like just shoot low. I hate to like say it, but like Jordan Spieth is like 45-1. It's like I want to bet him so bad, but I don't like because it just like.
Right. You don't know what to expect at all.
Yeah, he teases you.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I do it, every time I bet on him, I don't know if I've ever won a Jordan Spieth bet.
I've won like so many first round majors for him, but that's like 2 or 3 years ago. I just the guy he just can't. He just needs a new caddy. He just needs a new start. I actually talked to one of my friends who plays on the PGA Tour too. He said he needs to get divorced.
Wow.
So ever since he got married, it's just been downhill.
Yeah, I mean that's what it was with Rory and Wozniacki, right? They were engaged and he was playing terribly. I don't think they ever got married.
But that's true. You can never go wrong with like Matsuyama, De Chambeau, Webb Simpson, guys like that, and Koepka.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean I agree with that. I feel like Matsuyama, Koepka, and Bryson are 3 great bets for the first round if you're going to make some money.
If there's like one long shot I would take for first round leader, I mean, you like Gary Woodland's 90-1. Bernard Longer. One of my friends is actually married to Bernard Longer's daughter, so he gets to go to the Masters and stuff every year. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
That would be pretty awesome. Probably not this year, I would assume, but.
Yeah.
But overall, you said Gary Woodland for first round leader, long shot. Well, like in general, do you think that a long shot could win this tournament, or do you think it's just going to be one of the bigger guys?
Yeah, I mean, if Sergio Garcia can win this tournament, anybody can. I mean, if what's his name? If Danny
Willett, yeah.
If Danny Willett can win, anybody can really.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
When he won, he was playing terrible golf, and then he won. So,
that's like it could be like Justin Rose this week. He's been playing terrible golf, but like he's a good golfer. Maybe he has a good week.
Yeah, I could see like Brennan Todd like winning or something like that. He's like 200-1.
That'd be wild if Brennan.
The guy plays just like such boring, consistent golf.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of these like Gary Woodland's 200-1 to win. It's like, I mean, that's crazy. Danny Willett's 300-1. If you think he's gonna get a second green jacket, this guy.
I would almost bet my life he won't.
Victor
we
Perez.
Didn't even think he was gonna get the first one.
Victor Perez, yeah.
He's 350-1. I mean, you can really get some good odds. Jazz Janadawan to 750-1.
We're betting him to miss the cut.
Yeah, we are. Of course a guy could get like Gary Woodland at like 90. I mean, what did I say Woodland was? He's
He's 200 to 1, you said.
Yeah, I mean, I could see a guy like that winning. I mean, it's like if Gary Woodland played 4 good rounds of golf, like he could easily win a tournament. He's proven it before at a major.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that's good odds for a guy like that. But besides that, like long shots, it's just tough to see. Like, you know, and there's so many good golfers now, and there's like so many really good golfers. It's hard for like these lesser named guys to come up and win a tournament unless it's like the Shriners Open, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Francisco Molinari, I mean, how far has that guy fallen? He's 110 to 1 to win.
Yeah, I mean, final group to basically after that falling apart his whole entire golf career.
Just the 12th hole to falling apart.
That killed him. Yeah, that killed him. Yeah.
But, so basically, to cap it off, if you were gonna pick one guy, you only have one bet to pick the winner. Who's it going with? You know, between value and just who you think's gonna win.
I'd say Jon Rahm at like he's about 10.5 to 1 right now, so plus 1050. I think I've been watching him all week practice and stuff. He's looked really good, and he's a competitor. So I'll probably bet Rahm and Koepka to win.
All right.
You know, DeChambeau, like I like him to win too, but he's plus 750 right now, so it's not really like much of a value right there. Yeah. Maybe he starts out slow in round 1 and he goes to like 15 to 1. Then I would bet him. But at 7.5 to 1, I just can't back him right there. Koepka's 17 to 1, so I like that also.
Right.
But yeah, Morikawa is down at 35 to 1. So that's always a guy that, you know, is capable of winning and stuff like that. And I'll probably bet it, you know, put like a fun bet on like Tiger Woods to win at 45 to 1 because he's won.
Tiger.
I mean, yeah, he won last. Nobody thought he could win last year. He won last year. So why couldn't he do it again? You know, if he knows his course better than anybody. So it's always worth a shot. And it's fun to watch Tiger. It's fun to bet on Tiger. You don't want to be the guy that didn't bet Tiger and then he's rolling down the final home stretch on Sunday with a 2-shot lead. So
precisely. I feel like that's always my biggest fear with Tiger, that if I don't bet him, he's just going to win and it's going to be like killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably back him there. And those 4 guys. Like I said, I think the winner will be one of those 4 or 5 guys that I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. But you never know. So that's the beauty about golf, you know. So
exactly. It's going to be a fun weekend. And thank you so much for coming on. We obviously always appreciate it. There's not a major until the Masters in April, so maybe we can have you on for a smaller tournament, or maybe just a smaller tournament with a bigger field.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun, you know, this golf season. The last month I took off of like golf packages because there's been so much football going on, and there was so many tournaments. It was like it's hard to do every single tournament, you know. So I took that month,
especially.
Yeah, I just took that month off just to get ready for the Masters. So it's finally here. I'm looking forward to it. You know, somebody could possibly win, you know, 2 green jackets in like a 6-month span, which will be crazy. So I tweeted that to Billy Horschel, actually. You know, I always like pump him up on Twitter. I told him I can't wait for you to have 2 green jackets in the next 6 months. You know, he loves it.
He's a good
Billy Horschel would have the stylist green. He'd have the stylist outfit or the sweetest outfit for the green jackets too.
Oh yeah,
he would.
And the worst shoe, I just wanted to say the worst shoes ever of any golfer is by far Justin Thomas. I don't know. Guy has the worst shoes of any golfer every weekend. Those black and white old school ones, I just not a fan.
Yeah. The FootJoys, I think, right?
Yeah, just not a fan of those. Come on, man. Like I like how Brooks wears like the Nike like off whites and stuff, but he's not wearing those. He's not wearing those now this tournament because of his injury made them hard to walk in. So I'm just looking forward to a fun tournament. It's gonna be cool to have golf going at the same time as college football and then NFL.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see how the ratings go. You know, but I think the ratings will be pretty good.
Both at the same time. Red zone on one TV, golf on the other.
Yeah,
it should be good.
Precisely.
Looking for so at least Thursday and Friday we'll have just
golf.
Just golf. So that'll be good. I'm looking forward to an exciting tournament. So I appreciate you guys having me on, and look forward to coming on to the next podcast whenever that is. So
exactly. Yep. Thanks for coming on.
Sounds good.
Thanks again.
No problem. Talk to you guys later.
DFS Let's start with that. High salary guys we like. I put these in here. You can dispute it. Obviously, we all like the first one.
Yeah,
we all love Xander this week.
We're all on teams X-Man.
Wait, who are we all on? Who were we all in on last week? And it was Russell Henley, right?
Russell Henley.
He T29.
T29.
Okay, so I did okay.
And that's not great when you're all in.
I thought my best bet I had him top 20. I'm like, oh, I missed it. I had him T30, top 30. I'm like, let's go.
The minus 137. He finished T29. Yeah. That's
the classic minus 137.
Meanwhile, we'll get into it later. But my top 20 finished T24, and I think so did Pat's. So
mine's
not great.
T23, yeah.
So
yeah, we're all in on Xander. I've been in on Xander since.
I mean, it's hard March. Not to be. I mean, we don't want to like make that pick that's like, oh, everybody's gonna pick Bryson. Xander's been in every major he's played in pretty much. I mean, he's got to win one, right?
I saw a stat. It was like seven top 10s in his 13 career major starts. He's always there, always.
Also, he brings in a salary this week under 10,000, 9.8.
Yeah, he's going in my lineup, 100%. 100% going in my lineup.
Pat, you said Cantlay. You want to explain?
Yeah, I just really like Bryson. Sorry, Cantlay this week. He's playing unreal at the. What did he win? The Zozo? Yeah, he won the Zozo, and his approach was unreal, and his putting was easily his best strength. He figured something out with his putter. I feel like that leads to a very good week. I mean, I don't know if he'll win, but I feel like Cantlay last year, wasn't he second or third?
He was. He at one point he was leading.
Yeah,
he was leading at one point. Like I know who he was. I'm like, who is this guy? Why is this guy gonna take away Tiger's moment? Like I thought I was mad at him for leading because I didn't want him to win.
I will say another guy in the high salary range I kind of like, Justin Thomas. I feel like his game just like fits perfectly at Augusta. He does everything well. It's just like it's hard not to pick a guy like that.
I was gonna say
kind of the same way right now. I feel like Cantlay's in like absolute like pristine form. Not that JT's not. He was right down the stretch with him at the Zozo. So I think you can't really go wrong with a lot of the guys at the top. It's just Bryson. It's do you want to lay the points or the dollars on him?
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
I was just saying another guy is Dustin Johnson's last 5 years here. He's been 6th in 2015, 4th in 2016, 2017 fell down the stairs, 2018 10th. And last year, 2nd, and he played well last week. So he also had arguably the best year of like won like Player of the Year, whatever. Like on tour, so
incredible form, probably the best.
So how about this question? If BeatinTheBookie comes on, we'll ask him this, or if that might have been before this, I don't know. Who do we not like at the top? Because we seem to like everybody.
That's a better way to describe it right now because I feel like. We're just saying, oh, we like him. Like, a lot of these guys at the top are good picks.
I know.
But, I mean, let me pull it up here.
I mean, just based on the 11-2 salary, I would probably stay away from Bryson. I mean, if you really want Bryson, you can pick him. But, like, that's just my personal strategy, which I don't even know if it even works. But, like, if everybody has Bryson and he doesn't win, like, what's the point of having him?
I think Morikawa...
I would say, has Morikawa even played here?
Salary? He might have played the course before.
Well, yeah, like has he played? Did he play in 2019?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So here's the thing about Morikawa, like 9,500, you can get Cantlay and Koepka for 100 and 200 more. I feel like those are just
I would probably stay away from
better
him
bets.
Too.
I agree.
I mean,
I would stay away from Morikawa.
And Schofley's 300 more. And
do we think Tiger's a little bit high? I mean, obviously he's the defending champ. He's won 5 times, but he's at 9-1.
I'd stay away from Tiger. Not much.
I'm staying away just because I don't know what to expect. He could be top 10. He could miss the cut. I have no idea what to expect from Tiger really. I would like to say he'll play well, but I just don't know.
Since we've talked about almost everybody, what do we think about Rory?
I think Rory's. I always like Rory in the Masters. He always plays well. I think. I hope he wins, but I just don't know. He finished 21st last year, but after that, it was like 5th, 7th.
He's playing
10th,
well
4th.
right now. His last 4 finishes are T17, T21, T8, T8.
And he's always gonna get up for the Masters too. He's always.
In conclusion, let's break it down to two high salary guys that are above.
So Xander definitely.
Xander is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going above 9,000? I like Cantley for the 9.6, so I mean we might as well go Xander and Cantley.
Yeah, let's go Xander Cantley.
I mean I also like Justin Thomas, but he's higher salary, so like if we could get a little bit more bang for our buck, might as well go for the lower guy.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. It's all up to you guys who you want to pick.
And all our picks, like the highest one's like 8-7 in our picks. Like you can put a couple high salary guys and get one of our picks in there at all mid range value. So.
I mean, yeah, we'll just pop right into our picks. Might as well.
Yeah, I'll read off a lineup that I have after we're done with these picks, because it's kind of an absurd lineup that I can get all these guys in there, but we'll go over it after. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first since I have the highest salary guy, I think. So I really like Hideki Matsuyama at 8.7. That's pretty good salary for him. If you look at his master finishes over the years, he has a 19th, a T11, a T7, and a solo 5th. So that's not too bad at the Masters. He had a strong finish of the week last week. Obviously, he finished T2 last week. He had a final round 7 under, which was the low round of the week. He also finished T17 at the U.S. Open, which is one of the better ball strikers, especially recently. I feel like Matsuyama is going to come out and play well this week. It's just one of those weeks for him. Very good ball striker. If his putter is good, he should play well. And also 8.7, that's a pretty good price.
Yeah. Want me to go?
Go ahead.
Sure.
I'll go with Jason Day at 8,400. Both my picks I'm basing off of form at the Masters and like somewhat current form. So Jason Day's last 5 Masters finishes 5th, 20th, 22nd, 10th, and 28th. So all pretty solid finishes for 8,400 salary. And he was T7 last week, so could be going back to good form. Yeah. And over the summer, he had a crazy stretch of like 4 or 5 top 10s in a row before a few down weeks. Now, so maybe he's coming back to that good form, like right in time, and he knows the course like arguably better than like most people in the field. He's played here for years, so I think 8,400 for his caliber of play and his experience is a very good pick. Yeah, Pat, you're right.
So I'm going.
What's up? Go ahead. Nothing. He was just at the top of the leaderboards last week too. So
yeah, he was in the final group, wasn't he, or something?
Yeah. He was. Yeah. He was playing with Ortiz. So I'm going with Ricky Fowler, which is kind of it's a weird pick because Ricky Fowler is, as I've said a million times, like one of the more overrated players in golf, but he does play incredibly well at Augusta. His last 3 finishes are T9, solo 2nd, and T11, and he's only finished worse than T12 once since 2014. And he's in like decent form right now. He's not playing incredible, but he was 5 under at the CJ Cup, which was good for like a T28, and he was 7 under at the Zozo, which wasn't. I think he was like 50. But as I said, as long as you're not playing awful golf, I feel like you can take into account more the history at Augusta. So,
I agree.
And he's only 800. He's a mid-level guy that you can pair with, 2. You can probably pair him with 2 of those like guys that we said for high salary.
Yeah, he's another guy who's finished probably second 3 or 4 times here.
Mm-hmm.
Player for years. He knows the course better than a lot of people.
Exactly. And then for my second pick, I'm going with. For my second pick, I always like to go with somebody that's going to round off your lineup, or at least be the second to last guy, depending on where you spend your money. I'm not going to pick a guy I obviously think is going to win, but Zach Johnson, I mean, he has a win here in 2007. He's 6,800, and he's a low salary guy that has potential to actually contend. Even I don't know about contend, but as much as he contended at the U.S. Open, what did he finish at the U.S. Open again? Somewhere good.
I mean, he finished well in both the majors this year, I believe.
Yeah, he's played well in both the majors. And so far this year, I'm taking into account, some of those Jeek stats. He's 41st in strokes gained approach and 27th in strokes gained putting. I feel like he's just been on an absolute roll. And when you put that into consideration with his history at Augusta, he's also has a T9 here on top of his win in 2007. It's pretty good value at 6,800 to almost on top of your lineup.
He finished T8 at the U.S. Open.
Yeah. So I like Zach Johnson as a kind of a value play here.
All right, so my second pick, again going off form at the Masters and experience, I'll go with Louis Oosthuizen at 7,900. Last 5 finishes here, 29th, 12th, 41st, 15th, 19th, and he came in second here in 2012 with the Albatross and came in second to Bubba. Again, like another guy who's not playing bad. He came in third at the U.S. Open, and he has decent results. He hasn't really missed any cuts before or after that, and a guy who knows his course very well. Obviously, smoothest swing on tour. Great, good ball striker, decent putter. I think he could have a solid week. I don't think he's going to win. He might not compete on Sunday, but I can definitely see him finishing in top 20, or at least the top 30 for sure.
Okay, and so for my last pick, I'm going with someone that's kind of way down on the list, at least as far as salaries are concerned. And I think the reason because of it is because he doesn't have a lot of pedigree at the Masters and at Augusta. But I'm going to go with Corey Connors at 6,600. I mean, this is probably like your last guy that you would fit into your lineup if you have a lot of higher salary guys. He's been pretty hot since the new season started. He has 2 top 20s, I think one of them's a top 10, and a top 30. He's a ball striker. I mean, I feel like I pick him a lot, so you already know. He strikes the ball really well. He's especially striking the ball well off the tee this year. And he's starting to get the reputation as one of the best iron players in the world. And I feel like Augusta is just a noted second shot course. So if you have a guy like Corey Connors at 6,600 who could hit good second shots and hopefully bang in some putts, I mean, he could finish in the top 20, the top 30. It's like very good for somebody at that salary.
Agreed. I think that'll be actually a very good pick this week. So let's go to our bets. Last week, me and Jeek barely finished outside the top 20 with our top 20 bets, T23 and T24, and Trevor barely finished inside of his T30. So standings are Trevor at 7 and me and Jeek at 5 points. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we can gain on that. So I'll start with this one. We'll just reverse the snake draft here. I had Bryson in here before at plus 900, but to a certain extent, I was just like, there's not as much value there. I'm going to probably put a bet down on Bryson this week. So, I mean, take that for what you will. But out of pure actual value, I think Patrick Cantlay at plus 2,800 is a good pick. Like I said, he's putting the hell out of the ball. He's hitting good approach shots. Like Jeek said, it's a big second shot, of course. I'm liking Patrick Cantlay this week. And then I guess I'll also do best bet. I like the categories for these majors. Going top Korean, Sung J-M plus 125. All he has to beat is Ben On and Siwoo Kim, and I'm blanking on the fourth one. It's nobody.
Sung Kang.
It's Sung Kang. Yeah, I like Sung J-M plus 125 to beat those three. It's really not that much of a big ask to beat those guys. Sung J-M is also a great approach player.
I didn't even look at the nationality props because I've been so used to just like not having any bets to make like at the beginning of the week for these tournaments. I didn't even look at them. But you know what, Trev, you could go first.
Okay, so I got my winner. Been saying it for a while. Xander Schofley at plus 1,600. 7 major starts. He's always in it. I think he's due for a win. He's competed well at the U.S. Open this past 2 months ago now. Well, it feels like forever ago. But he's my guy. I've been riding with him for a while. I'm gonna ride with him here. Plus 1,600 to win. And best bet, kind of bold, but I'll go Jordan Spieth top 30. Based off the fact that maybe he figured something out for a brief moment on the first day in the front nine.
Okay, that's Jordan Spieth literally every tournament he plays. It's like, maybe he figured it out. Maybe he figured out plus 8.
But where did he finish last year?
He's gonna play 21st.
Okay.
But if he's gonna do well anywhere and come out and play well anywhere, it's gonna be here. So I'm gonna.
That's a fun bet for you to keep track of, because it doesn't mean he necessarily has to be in it, but you can be Jordan Spieth all weekend to hopefully.
Exactly,
and hopefully if he makes the weekend.
And I want him. I want to root for Jordan Spieth. I want him to do. If he wins, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be so happy for him. Like even if he competes, I'd be. I just want to see him compete. I feel like I haven't seen him play in forever. So I would love to see him do well. I I think you can finish top 30. We'll see. It's a little bit riskier, but it's Augusta. He loves this place, so we'll see.
Quick shameless plug here. I mean, if you want to go to the Golficity store, I don't know if it'll be there in time for Augusta at this point because you're listening on Wednesday probably, but go buy the Jordan Spieth or like the Spieth Greller 2020 shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Even though Biden's already won the 2020 election, but Spieth,
I mean, if you recount the votes, Spieth might have.
Yeah, if you recount the votes, Spieth and Greller might have won. They might have won the election this year.
You never know.
Texas could have gone Spieth's way. You never know.
Texas definitely could have gone Spieth's
Never know.
So I was also going to go with Xander Schofley, but I'm going to mix it up so that we have another person in here for a winner, and we don't both have Xander Schofley. I'm going to go with JT at plus 1250, which is pretty good value for JT. He's not the lowest guy out there. He's like the fourth or fifth guy. I just think a course that fits his game so well. I mean, Augusta is that course. He's been playing pretty well. He's always in it. I feel like JT gets up for the majors too. Definitely plays big in the majors. I mean, approach game's good. He hits the ball a mile off the tee as well, just not as far as Bryson. He putts well. So, I mean, if a course sets up to JT's game and JT is in the mode this week, he could definitely pull it out. And then for my best bet, I'm looking for that +2. So I'm going to go with Tony Finau top 10 at plus 350. I believe in 2018, the last time he played in the Masters, he finished in 10th. He finishes top 10 in a bunch of majors, kind of like Xander does. I feel like he finished 5th at the U.S. Open in 2018 and 9th in the Open in 2018. So, I mean, he also finished 10th in the PGA one year. Also T5th at the Masters in 2019. So both times he's played in the Masters, he finished in the top 10. He's been playing pretty good golf. And if somebody's going to swing with Bryson out of anybody on the golf course, I feel like it could be Tony Finau. Just anyone who has the tools to do it with Bryson, to putt with him as well, I think Tony Finau's that guy.
Do you guys hear the Fast and Furious movie going on outside my...
I did hear a little bit of it.
I was a little confused there.
I was going to say... Finau is basically a poor man's Schofley. I feel like he hasn't both of them always compete at the majors, always play well, and then they both haven't really won a major yet.
Or, I mean, this is crazy.
I don't know about poor man's, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, not really poor man. They're both very very good and similar level. But I think Schofley's more effective.
A poor man's Xander Schofley is Charlie Hoffman.
In major championships, Tony Finau has 8 top 10s.
That's
how many starts?
Probably only been on the scene for 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, 20 starts.
Okay, so they're very both of them, Schofley and Finau, are both really good bets to finish really well in majors, but maybe not.
But yeah, I mean, I normally I would take Finau top 20 and be and just lock it up and be like, yep, that's a lock. Finau's gonna finish in the top 20, but I need that extra point here.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. So first round leaders. I don't know who put in one of them, but I put in the top 2 because I feel like they're both guys that can go pretty low on a singular day. I'll say them. Cantley plus 3,300. I mean, you saw what he did at the Zozo on the final day. He shot 8 under to come from behind. He can go low for a round.
You're all in on Cantley this week.
Yeah, I am. I'm pretty all in. I mean, not all in because but I do like the value around him. And then Koepka as well, plus 2,500. He's playing. Okay. He's back to playing well, and he's a guy that's won many first round leader bets throughout his time in majors.
I put in this last one, and I kind of like it. Bubba Watson plus 4,000. I mean, talk about course horse. Bubba's won here twice. I feel like it doesn't really matter. Bubba's going to play well this week. Maybe he plays well in the first round.
He's
started off hot, and he's in pretty good form. So, I mean, just talk about course horses. Bubba Watson plus 4,000. Why not?
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can basically that does it for our bets. We can cap off the week with birdies and bogeys. Who wants to start?
I gotta think about these.
I probably have the worst bogey. So
I've been so hyped up about the Masters, I didn't think about my birdies and bogeys of the week.
So I'm gonna start off with my bogey.
Okay.
Currently in the big Q right now. We're in quarantine. We're in quarantine. One of my roommates has COVID. feel like that's a common theme on this podcast. Every week somebody thinks they have COVID or does have COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I got a test tomorrow, but not looking good.
Is it a rapid test?
I don't know. I haven't asked yet. I'm gonna ask tomorrow when I take it. But
okay.
Yeah. So there's that. So I'm quarantining, but I'm quarantining in a 84-degree room right now because our AC got shut off.
Oh my God.
So I'm heating up right now.
They weren't expecting it to be 75 degrees in Syracuse today.
But when they shut it off, it was on last Monday when it was snowing, and there was 75-degree weather in the forecast. So I don't know. It's but
jump the gun.
Of course, birdie. I kind of foreshadowed what was going to happen last week at the end of the podcast. I was talking about, hey, don't get COVID, but if you're gonna, you can do it now.
This week is perfect.
And
you talked that into reality.
Yeah, no, I really jinxed the living hell out of this apartment. I don't know if I want to tell my roommates that. So I really jinxed us there. That sucks.
I'll go with my birdie is we played I'm actually playing like a lot of golf now, and I'm playing the ball like really well. Like I went to the range last week twice, and I was like striping it, and then playing tomorrow morning at 7:48 a.m. with my friends. And then because what we originally said we're not going to play this week because the Masters prices with the courses. The course we play is usually $18.
There's Masters prices?
Well, down here it is because there's no fans. So like we're only an hour away. So like the course we usually play is $18, but then it went up to $50 per 9. And so, but then we got a discount. We got a discount for tomorrow because we're students, so we're playing for 23, I think. But 18 holes tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. So as a birdie and a bogey, I have to get up really early for that. But I guess other bogeys is the Bears just suck. So I don't want to
their
talk
offense
about it,
is terrible.
Great offense.
It's taking years off my life watching that team play football.
It's hard to watch. Yes.
It is hard to watch. So, but yeah, hopefully they turn around, but we'll see. And also, Masters, that's everyone's but birdie, but Masters this week is probably the most excited I've been for golf in a long time.
Nice. So my birdie of the week, I'm back in Boston. It's been a week. Just kind of wasn't here, and now I'm back. But part of me coming back meant I had to get another COVID test because we get COVID tests every 3 days here. And whatever, they like barely let me into my building today because it's like we have to show them like a badge that like pretty much says you got tested, and like I didn't get tested because I just got back this morning. So like I came in, dropped off all my stuff. Like I was like, all right, I'll go get a COVID test now. And I go out to get the COVID test, and of course they are like literally cleaning the entire testing center, like sanitizing the entire thing.
So you didn't get COVID while you were there, probably?
No, but like so I'm like, okay, like I guess I'll just go back into my room and like and chill for like an hour or whatever. They didn't let me back into the building because I hadn't gotten a test, so I was stranded for about an hour, just like sitting outside, like wasn't allowed in any of the buildings at BU because like I didn't get a test. Yeah, so that kind of sucked. I just had like an hour to just like sit outside and wait for them to clean so I could get my test. And then other bogey of the week, the betting week, I had like 4 or 5 bad beats like yesterday, and I never want to gamble again. So yeah.
That's how it is. That's how it be sometimes on Sundays.
I mean, it was one after another. It was crazy. I mean, the one that killed me the most. Obviously, everybody saw the Saints game last night. Saints-Bucks. Saints crushed the Bucks. Alvin Kamara over 48.5 rushing yards, I think. At halftime, Alvin Kamara had 9 carries for 40 yards. So I'm like, okay, this is looking really good. 9 carries, 40 yards, needs 9 more yards, right? Not a single carry in the second half. Not one.
It's amazing because they were winning by so much too the whole game.
He didn't get a single carry in the second half. He got like a couple receptions. No carries in the second half. That bet just 9 carries for 40 yards. That's what it stuck at. And I was like, crazy. And then the other one was like -8 in the Steelers game, and they're on the 20-yard line, and they should kick a field goal to go up 8, right? And they went for it, and they didn't get it, and they almost lost to the Cowboys of Garrett Gilbert, but they didn't. And I was hoping they lost because
I had them -4.5 in a teaser, and they won by 5, so that was pretty clutch.
I I'm stopping betting for a little bit, but I put $10 on a parlay, just like see what would happen. Last leg was the Cardinals.
My last leg was the Seahawks. Wasn't a bad beat. They just got crushed.
49-yard field goal was short.
That's tough. That's tough.
Like, oh God.
But it was a tough week of bad beats.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a third one, but I
had a good week.
Forget what it was.
There were bad beats. I had a good week, though.
I think Gronkowski to catch the first Bucks touchdown, and one hit him in the chest, and he dropped it, and it would have been a touchdown. It would have been a lot of money because those bets. But anyway, that's how the week went. So
all right,
we'll get him at the Masters.
Well, let's go get him at the Masters. It does not matter what tournament is next week, but
yeah,
we'll see you then. Hopefully, one of our picks hit.